Asking that this be tabled?
Sorry, Lee. You just pulled items 2 and 3, Madeline.
Yes, I did, and I wanted to table them.
All right, well, that's where we are right now.
Okay.
So I'm asking them to be tabled because I heard nothing about this from our attorney. He put a contract together that I totally don't understand. He put a contract together that no one has on Long Island. So I really think we should table it. And you bring the the attorney in to discuss it with the board. Because there has been no discussion, all of a sudden this appeared.
Lee, that's not true, and you're now spewing information that's incorrect. The board attorney was here twice to discuss it with us.
Right, and then
he put emails out to us with all the modifications, and it was taken care of. So you're now telling people that we didn't discuss something, and that's not true.
Yes.
Wait a second.
That is totally not true.
He put it in a memo, and then I asked him to come to the board meeting. He said, if the
He's
board...
been here twice, there's nothing else for him to discuss.
Excuse me. You have an opinion. I know what I'm...
You're not telling facts.
I know what I'm telling... I'm speaking in experience.
You're not telling
You're not
facts.
telling the facts, Lee.
The fact is, there's something on this contract that I don't even know if the board understands.
I understand
Okay?
it.
Well, if you can accept that,
Mr. Gercio explained it to us fully.
when? When?
Well, the first time he was here, and then in his email
No.
with the
I'll have to...
Yes, Lee, you
changes.
did.
Completely
Am I going to be bullied by
Maybe
you
you don't
gentlemen?
understand it, but we do. I do, personally.
Am I going to be bullied by you gentlemen?
No,
You're going to give me a
of
chance to
We're
speak up.
bullying you, but you're not
But you're
speaking
not
the
letting
truth.
me talk. You're talking
You're not
over
speaking
me.
the truth.
You are talking over me,
Go ahead.
okay? Something was written in this contract that is no one's contract on Long Island. Okay? That's number one. Did any of you disagree with me?
Yes, that's not true. Mr.
Okay.
Gercio said not only are there superintendents who have certain stipulations, but there also, as a previous one in Connecticut that had it. So you're telling, again, things that aren't true.
Not that
that's not-
particular
that's-
And
stipulation,
Mr.
I'm sorry.
Gercio's a liar.
I
That's
am
what you're saying?
asking, no, I'm asking Mr. Gercio, as I asked the attorney, is I want an explanation of how that particular contract got written. Because we didn't say to him, okay, in a consensus. How did we do that?
Lee, what's your question about, you pulled 2 and 3, so what's your question?
Well, I'm asking you to table it until she
Okay.
comes back with an answer.
Yes.
I need an answer from him.
So you need a motion to table?
Yes.
You would need a motion and a second to table.
So you call for a motion. Anyone second that?
I second the table.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
All right, so now I'm going to tell you the truth. We had one discussion among the board. We had one discussion with the attorney. Everything else was via email. I had a question regarding a provision that was in the contract that was written. I asked the attorney, the language as it speaks now, have you written this language for anybody else? He said no. So I just want to make a correction on that. He has not written this language for anybody else.
I think that's only on one particular item.
And that one particular item I have an issue with. I don't like the wording of it, I don't like the provision. I asked him, and it was CC, the whole board saw it, and
Yep.
he plainly said, no other superintendent has that provision. I'm not comfortable with that, so I'm saying no.
Marlon, I think if I recall correctly, I emailed several questions that clarified that stipulation through Mr. Gercio.
Yes.
And we all agreed that the responsibility of that clause lies in the board's
You can't
hands.
say we all agree, I did not agree.
Oh, all right, you didn't agree.
You say the majority agree, but not we, not
Okay.
all we.
But we did agree that the responsibility of that clause lies in the board's hands. We all did agree that.
And I also.
And you said you weren't comfortable with that because prior boards have dropped the ball. Your
Correct.
words, not mine.
Correct.
And I said, I'm not hanging my hat on something that reflects that we're concerned the board is gonna drop the ball. Correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
So I just wanna make it very clear that I understood the language of what Mr. Garcia wrote. I asked some very clarifying questions of which he confirmed, which
That's
further clarified anything that I had in question and confirmed that the responsibility of that clause lies in the board's hands, and if there was a concern with the superintendent's performance, that could be nullified immediately.
Correct.
And
I just wanted to make that
if you also read through the email threads, I asked, has that wording ever been included in any of his contracts he's written across Long Island with his clients. He also said no. So therefore, I said, I'm really not comfortable having that wording in the contract, especially since no other district has it, and I can't rely on future boards to take on the responsibility of what we do today. So I have to vote no on that.
I think it's very important, Mr. Rabel, what you said, after you did clarify and go through your process of trying to get, proper clarification, Mr. Gercio affirmatively agreed with all of your clarification.
What does that have to do with the idea of that? He also agreed with what I said too, so what's the difference?
The-
Because there will be no ownership on who is going, the wording,
He didn't, though. He agreed that it falls on the board's responsibility.
okay, and if nobody reminds
He
the board.
confirmed that.
He
And if-
confirmed that there's
Well,
no
it's
risk
the
to the
board's job
district.
to read
The
things.
board does its job.
And,
We
okay,
experienced that tonight with people who didn't read things. It's the board's job to read things before they come to a meeting.
listen, I read everything, I think I come very prepared to every meeting, I don't think anybody on this board can dispute that.
I
And
can,
again,
you just didn't know what number 2 was on the contract.
because I didn't have my iPad wasn't working.
But then you can't say that you
And
know
then once
everything.
I looked at it, I was well aware of it, and I said to Lee, it's a non-issue. My issue was with number
Just-
3.
Just so we're clear, there's a little stipulation that they're referring to. Every other item was agreed to by the whole board.
That's not true, Lee did not agree to one of the items.
Okay, well, that's why I looked at Lee, I wasn't sure. Okay, so there's one other item, but the 4 other people were okay with it. So the stipulation is, of course I can't discuss it, but it's like what Mr. Grable just expressed. So it's not a big deal as long as the board does their job. So the contract that we're accepting is very fair, it's very normal.
It's not normal when
It
the
is
attorney said,
normal.
or maybe all the other
It's
clauses in
one little
there.
aspect of it.
Very
Yeah,
normal.
but
Yeah,
then
so-
again, why would I want it, I'm just not agreeing to it.
It's just-
I
don't
don't think,
forget,
I don't
don't
think the
put-
ownership should be on the future boards.
It's very normal for somebody who works so
Yes.
hard.
Let's not make this, they already said yes, let's move on.
All right,
Motion on the table already, just so
so
2 and 3, motion, second.
second, so we set.
Now you have.
No, I will not accept
I'm
that.
saying no.
You're a no, Mr. Ferrioli? Yes. Mr. Grable?
Yes.
Mr. Memorando? Yes. Okay, all right. Moving on to,